Okay, awesome. So we got the recording feature on. It's about 12 noon, and we'll get started soon. I'm just waiting for a few people to hop on. Okay, so maybe people are having trouble logging on. I just got a text asking me if I was on. I am on. Oh, they can't get on. Why can't they get on? Okay, that's a problem. Okay, I'm going to share this information. It looks like we're having trouble with people logging on to the link. Um, so, so this is titled How to Stay Healthy During Pandemic Times. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Shirley Banks. I'm a wellness coach, registered nurse, and clinical nutritionist. And so the times we live in right now, everybody know that it's definitely not our norm. It's definitely different from what we are used to. And so there are a lot of things that's been changing, evolving daily. And so I wanted to just share some things because as I went on my social media timeline, I could see over and over and over again that people were having challenges, trying to figure out what to do, how to stay healthy, talking about multiple supplements, multiple things that they were doing to try and stay healthy. So I just wanted to share a little bit of information that I found, what works for me, and hopefully some of this information will be beneficial to you. Okay, so what is the coronavirus? And I'm going to be reading, so I have so many notes and I have a short time to get this done. There's several types, so it's been around for a while, but what we're dealing with now with COVID-19, this is a new what they call it novel because it's a new virus. So it's still a coronavirus, and it's based on name corona because of how it looks under the microscope. So it has those little crown-like projections on it. So that's why it's named corona. There's been questions about whether it's 5G, whether it's bioterrorism. We don't know. And that's not our focus today, okay? Our focus is to stay healthy and while we're doing this. And so what is the immune system? Because we've been getting a lot of information about, hey, I can't answer now, so they're having a hard time launching, so I do apologize. But anyway, we're born with an immune system. It's our innate immune system. It's something that we've been born with. It comes to our parents, grandparents, down the line. And then we have the adaptive immune system as well, where we get attacked with a virus or bacteria. And because of that, what happens is, our body fights it off. And then if that bacterial virus ever comes in again, the body recognizes and says, oh, you've been here before. Let me, go ahead and take you on out now. So the thing about vaccines, that a lot of times what happened with the vaccines, that by the time viruses mutate, and so by the time maybe a vaccine is available, the way they start with that initial vitamin, mixed virus, the vaccine may have mutated by that time that it is actually given to you. And there may be another virus that mutated from that. Because you can see the flu vaccine changes every year, right? Every year, because viruses can mutate. So let's talk a little bit about that. So we want our immune system to be strong. We want our macrophages, which is kind of like the SWAT team, the police force in our immune system. We want them to be healthy. And the reason why diabetics and hypertension, people who have high blood pressure are having so much issue is because one thing, too much sugar slows down that immune response. So too much sugar slows down that immune response. And and if you can't get an optimum immune response, then you're more susceptible. And with hypertensive, because a lot of times they are on medications to lower their blood pressure, there's a receptor that allows well, it actually just kind of makes it more easy for that virus to penetrate, because it actually just opens up and allows it to go in. The big thing is to learn how, if you are exposed to the virus, how to protect your body. Now, we know we're doing the things that they've told us to do: stay home, social distance, wash hands, use our mask, and now they're saying using bandanas if you're out. When you come home, if you've been out along with a lot of people, and definitely for my healthcare people, once you come out, you want to take off your clothes and shower before you sit down or do anything else in the house. If you get in mail out of the mailbox, put it in a plastic bag. Use gloves if you can to kind of manage it, because we know that everybody has been susceptible, and it has been documented that it can stay on surfaces: paper, concrete, plastic, stainless steels for some time. So we want to be careful with that, okay? Try and clean up your home products, things that you're using at home. I know everybody is spraying Lysol, and I'm not saying don't do that, but I want you to Google and see if you can find a safer alternative than Lysol. Because the thing about it is, it can disrupt DNA. Lysol is really kind of toxic. And it can also irritate lung tissue. So if you're already dealing with something, you're spraying a bunch of Lysol in there, it can irritate the lungs, okay? And we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Try to detox a little bit. If you haven't been doing the optimum diet, I'm drinking here some lemon water, warm lemon water, and I start with that during the day. So you can start with that in the morning to help to kind of detox and flush your system, protect your liver health. Dandelion tea in the morning. Add blueberries, parsley, cilantro into your smoothies and salads. That'll start to help you detox a little bit. Another thing is fasting. Going without food or water for a period of time really can help reset your immune system. I mean, it's huge. It can actually go through and start to clean up old viruses and bacteria. Why? Because it's not working overtime trying to digest food and do all of these things. So, you can do fasting, and I'm so sorry that these people cannot get on. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I'm sorry they can't get on. So that's okay. And you can add things in like adaptogenic herbs and like mushrooms, chaga, reishi, turkey tail. One of the main things you want to do, we're going to be talking about food and how food impacts that. So garlic, which has a sulfur compound to it. And I know a lot of people like, oh, if I eat too much garlic, it smells, but you can get aged garlic, like black garlic, and it's a little bit more sweeter, but it has a lot of vitamins and minerals, and garlic is a normal antiviral, antibacterial. So most of you guys know about garlic. Add it to whatever, pastas, salads, stir fries, soups, eat it raw. If you want to eat it raw, you want to chop it, let it set for about 10 minutes or so before you eat it, because then that way the benefits of it can really kind of be released from the garlic, okay? So let's talk about two things that are really going to be important. And I'm rushing through because I've only got 30 minutes to do this. Sleep. Sleep helps us recover, right? It actually helps us to build up those proteins that help to target and fight infections and inflammation in the body. They're produced and released while we sleep. So they're produced and released while we sleep. And so I hope you're sleeping. The fighter T cells, the things that we need to kill off viruses and bacteria, are turned on, and the specialized white blood cells that fight viruses inside the cell, including like flus, HIV, coronavirus, all of these things are turned on while you're sleeping. So you want to make sure you're maximizing your sleep. Sleep also helps us to decrease our stress hormones. And stress hormones can actually limit our killer T cells. So, and it keeps them from killing the infected cells. So sleep is very, very important. So we don't focus on sleeping pills, which you can leave you with side effects. And I'm skipping some of my notes, and I apologize for that. And not rested and feeling a little bit groggy. But what you want to do is try and make sure you're having your diet optimized a little bit. Zinc is one thing that can help you improve the quality and the duration of your sleep. So I know one of the things that we're doing in this time is focus, and I'll go into that a little bit more over it. But you can add things to your diet like oysters, chickpeas, cashews, chicken, oatmeal. Melatonin is huge. And lower doses is probably better than higher doses, because I know some of my clients say that melatonin doesn't work for them. Sometimes they're taking higher doses, and so that's why it doesn't work. So try lower doses. You can get that in a spray, drop, or sublingual. It's better, it's absorbed better that way. Pills has to be broken down by the liver, and sometimes it's limited by the time they get into the bloodstream. And if your liver is not optimized and your GI system is not optimized, you may not get the benefit. So that's why you're not seeing the benefit of the melatonin at higher doses. There was also a study that I looked at, and I went through this thing a couple of times, and it says it may be helpful, this is melatonin now, may be helpful to prevent lung injuries related to COVID-19, because it was based on a study they did when SARS was out in 2003. And it said it may be able to suppress the cytokine storm in the lungs. So that's the thing that's taking a lot of people out, is that overreaction of our immune system. It's called a cytokine storm. And so it said it may be able to suppress that. So something as little as the melatonin and lower doses. And it also may decrease, help the lungs improve from pneumonia. Melatonin, you can add things to your diet like olives, cucumber, grapes, walnuts, flax seeds, asparagus. Those are the kind of things they add. Stress, a lot of stress is going on. I've gotten calls from people concerned and, really worried at during this time. And we want to try and manage, I can't answer the phone, I'm sorry. We want to try and manage the stress. The killer C cells, when we don't manage our stress, what happens is those killer C cells, we need that balancing there to help with the cytokine storm if it does happen. And things that impact those killer T cells is increased blood sugar, insulin resistance, make them less effective for you. Stress depletes your B vitamins, okay? And B vitamins are really important because they help enzymes do their job. Like they decrease, and if you don't have them, they help to break down amino acids and transport oxygen and energy to the cells, and we need that. So what are some foods that we can add in during this time? Like eggs, avocado, liver, brown rice, lentils, of course, veggies all the time, and also sunflower seeds. Vitamin D, most of us are deficient in vitamin D. And especially as African Americans, we tend to be a little bit more deficient, okay? So even though we have the stay-at-home order, we need to get outside and get some fresh air. And now that the weather is getting a little bit warmer, it should be easier for you to get out in your neighborhood and go for a walk and get some fresh air and get some sun exposure on you. If you don't know what your vitamin D level is, you want to ask your doctor about getting it checked, because even though it says vitamin D, it's really a hormone, and it's a potent antiviral. Potent, that means strong. To boost your immune system, it kind of acts like a thermostat in the body. So you know how you turn up or turn down a thermostat? It kind of acts like that, okay? So most people are low. So I want to get this. So people can actually handle doses as high as about 10,000 units. So you want to start first by checking your level. You can get, normally, sometimes if it's really, really low, your doctor will give you a prescription. Otherwise, you can start with as little as 2,000 units or up to 5,000, even up to 10,000 fairly safely. But you can also add milk to your diet, salmons, eggs, orange juice. And for those of us who are a little bit cod liver oil, remember cod liver oil growing up? That is a good thing to add to get that vitamin D up. Tuna and sardines. Now, I know we're not able to go to the gym right now, but sauna, if you have availability at home, if you have that luxury, most people don't. But when the gyms open up again and then another season, that might be something for you to consider, because sweat helps you to release toxins from your body. It's a proven benefit. It also helps to improve your sleep quality. and it has the ability to reduce the frequency of illness, okay? And it can decrease your chance for viruses and stuff like that. So studies have shown that high heat, especially moist heat with water, with water can deactivate viruses. Don't go into the sauna if you're sick. So don't like, oh my God, I'm so sick, I got a fever. Don't go in there if you're sick. This is when you're well and you're healthy, okay? Let's talk about ginger. Okay, I need to check my time here. Oh, wow. Nobody can get on. So ginger, it's huge for us. It's an antiviral. It has a component in it called gingerol, and it's shown to stop or slow viruses replication. So that's for the ability, so the virus can't live by itself. It has to get inside of our body. It has to attack our cells, kill our cells, and once it gets in, it replicates, it reproduces itself. So it starts, we can help it to stop entering the cell. It's also an anti-inflammatory, so it decreases inflammation. It supports digestion. You want to use hot tea. You can use that in soap, soups, stir fry, even desserts, grated mints, doesn't matter. It also helps us to produce nitric oxide, which is helpful for our blood pressure. Ginger also increases your hydrochloric acid, which helps our stomach and helps us to produce nitric acid. And what that does is helps for lowering your blood pressure. The immune system is about, let's say if this is your digestive system, the immune system in your gut is about 80% of that. So all of this, your stomach has to be healthy. So are you having issues? Are you constipated? Are you having GI issues, bloating, gas, things like that? You need to optimize your digestive system. So that ginger is going to help increase that HCl in there to get that stomach acid up. Try adding digestive enzymes and probiotics. Digestive enzymes help break down protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And they also, and the probiotics promote healthy digestive tract. So you can add foods in there like kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, some yogurts, kefir, those kinds of things to help in there. You want to decrease your red meat during this season because red meat takes longer to digest. It causes more inflammation in the body, and you want to eat, but you still want to eat adequate protein. So 5 things like a lean turkey, chicken, fish, focus on those things. Avoid sugar. Avoid sugar as much as possible. I see people with baking the donuts and the cake and the cookies during this time. It slows down your immune system, and so that's why you want to avoid sugar as much as possible. And I'm going fast because I have limited time, and I do apologize for the speediness. Hopefully I'll be able to make this available. Water is vital for our energy, for our brain focus. It helps us to detox. It helps us avoid constipation. If you like coconut water, and if you're not diabetic, because it does have a sugar component in there, it can also add some other nutrients to the body, okay? It actually helps just really promote good health and homeostasis in the body. We talked about melatonin a little bit, and especially as you get older, that melatonin level drops. So you can add those things in there. Like I said, the olives, the grapes, the broccoli, the cucumbers, walnuts, flaxseed. Focus on those dark green leafy vegetables. If you don't like a lot of vegetables, buy a green powder. Stick it in your meats when you're making meatloaf. Stick it in your smoothies, somewhere to get those greens in. You really need that. And really try and focus on things like Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, because they have the ability to help the body fight inflammation, even in respiratory illnesses. So we're mainly focused on the respiratory component. Another thing, fun. And I know it's like, but that's going to help with the stress piece too as well. Laughter, a merry heart doeth good like medicine. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all of this. I'll probably have to do another one. So let's go back to zinc a little bit, because I know a lot of you are doing that. And it's a mineral, and it needs it for cellular metabolism, enzyme function, wound healing, and cell division, right? And it has a potential to block virus replication. And this is based on a study from 2010. Most of that was like zinc inside the cell, but we're not going to get it inside the cell just from eating, but we can actually replace as much zinc like foods as much as possible so we can build up our zinc level, okay? Because most people are deficient. You can get it in a supplement form like a lozenge, and you can also add things like oysters, crabs, lobster, beans, nuts, whole grains. Let's look at, you want to stay some healthy fats, stay away from things that are inflammatory. So you want to do things like olive oil, like avocado oil, ghee, butter. You want to avoid corn oils and vegetable oils. 2 things you can really add in: black tea. Black tea supercharges your T cells. Those are your killer T cells. It increases your interferon, which actually fights virus and decrease the virus ability to replicate. So black tea. Green tea is an immune booster, right? It's an antioxidant that helps protect against proteins, potential viruses, infection, and sickness. Also, you can try hibiscus tea in there, and that will help us also. Lemon, we talked about that a little bit, and there's so much information that I won't be able to get it all in again today, but I'll try to do another one. Let's talk about vitamin C a little bit, and turmeric. So vitamin C is essential for the body. It helps prevent or reverse cellular damage caused by free radicals. It increases the ability of the phagocytes. So phagocytes are those things that come in and eat up viruses. If you think about Pac-Man and how Pac-Man goes boom, 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 that's what like a phagocyte is. Okay, so we want that to happen, okay? A lot of times right now what they're using, I think in New York and as well as in China, they're using high dose vitamin C in some of the COVID-19 patients. So vitamin C is very, very important. You can get a liposomal vitamin C, which is going to help it get it into the cell much easier than some of the other forms that are out there. So you can also add to your diet broccoli, cantaloupes, kale, kiwi, bell peppers, spinach. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting all these things. So we're gonna have to go, let me give you a couple of things that I saw that, and I wanna talk about a little bit. Elderberry, right? Because I see a lot of people using that. And then there's been some caution around elderberry because, you know, whether it was helpful in COVID-19 or not, or whether it was a problem. So it's used to support, it has a long history. It's been used to support colds and flu viruses because it may shorten the duration. It has antioxidants which blocks key viral proteins from attacking the cells. But there's some concern, listen, some concern that it may cause the cytokine storm, which is negatively impacted the COVID-19 patients. So cytokines are those cellular communication. Our cells communicate with each other, and it tells the immune system when to turn on. There's a virus here, when to turn on. It's like a power surge going off. The storm happens when it continually sends that message, So the immune system is kind of in overdrive, and that was creating the problem with the people that have a really lung compromise and end up really severe pneumonias and not having a good outcome. A lot of people are using colloidal silver, which is silver suspended in liquid. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I actually use silver as well, but I use nano silver. So if you want more information about it, you can inbox me or send me an email at shirleybanksrn@gmail.com. Okay. So what silver does, it has the ability, it's an antiviral, antifungal. It kills protozoas. It helps disrupt the biofilm that bacteria wants to live in. And it also can interfere with the outside membrane of the viruses. So it can break that down. A lot of people using moringa. I like moringa. It has a high ORAC value of about 76,000. It also has a lot of multivitamins and minerals attached to it. It also can be beneficial to your blood sugar. I'm so sorry you guys couldn't get on. I'm recording, so hopefully you'll be able to get the recording. Don't use NSAIDs, and those are things like Advil, ibuprofen, aspirin, Celebrex, Indocin, Naproxen, Aleve. They have a long history of negative side effects. You know, you talk to your doctor about stopping stuff, but during this time, if you have a fever or something like that, you don't want to use that. I want to give you other couple of things that you can get really quickly. in these last 5 minutes? Horseradish, regular horseradish, may help kill gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria. They can also help with that fluid that happens between the cell membranes, because sometimes that what keeps us from being able to breathe easily and effectively because of that fluid there. Manuka honey is an antiviral properties and it helps with sore throat. It also has an antibacterial component. And it also for stomach people, that have like maybe H. pylori, it can help to benefit your stomach too as well. Something you can make or you can purchase, go to Amazon and get it, is Fireside Tonic. It's a mix of apple cider vinegar and it's infused with like turmeric, ginger, garlic, lemon. And it was developed in like 1970, and it helps to increase energy in your body. And it also wards off colds and flu and sinus congestion. And it also helps with digestion. So you got to optimize your stomach health. You got to optimize your immune health, but you don't want to put it in overdrive. You want to balance there, okay? Coconut oil. Coconut oil has a component in it called monolaurin. And it has the ability to disrupt the biofilm. And biofilm is kind of like a thick layer of mucus, if you want to think about it like that bacteria likes to hide in. And it can also disrupt the outer membrane of the virus. So it can break that out. So you can cook with that, add a teaspoon in your smoothies, cook stir fries with it. I cook my eggs with it sometimes. Just put it in a smoothie. If you want, you can just eat a tablespoon or teaspoonful, but I don't do that, but you could do that if you want. It also has caprylic acid in there, which can be beneficial if you have parasites and yeast. So what is the bottom line? And I didn't get to a lot of the stuff here, but if you have any questions, you can definitely email me at shirleybanksrn@gmail.com. So Shirley Banks, all lowercase rn@gmail.com. And I'm going to try and put the whole thing into a PDF form so that if you want the whole, because there's so much I didn't get to share with you today. So what's the bottom line? We need to eat healthy. I know we're home and we got an opportunity to consume a whole lot of junk and snacks and stuff like that. But if we're really trying to be healthy, in addition to avoiding, social distancing and washing our hands and, wearing a mask, we need to protect our body, okay? Because there's still stuff that's evolving that we don't know all of the information yet, right? So we don't know all of the things. So mostly fresh frozen vegetables. Try and do that. Some fruits. Make good healthy soups. Avoid processed foods. I know it's a temptation, but avoid processed foods, okay? Food first over supplements. Food first over supplements. Food first. Did we get that? Food first over supplements. If you have some issues with your GI tract, I talked about getting those probiotics in, getting digestive enzymes. You can also add do a bone broth recipe, which you can use to cook your vegetables in, make a soup, or you can just drink it. It's very healing to the gut, because you want to be able to absorb all of your healthy stuff that you're doing. You want your body to be able to utilize it as much as possible. Avoid alcohol. Yeah, that's what I said, alcohol. Avoid alcohol. Because it helps to disrupt your GI balance, bacteria balance in your gut. And I know we're using a lot of hand sanitizers with alcohol in it. Our skin is the biggest organ. So when we put things on our skin, it absorbs into our body. And all of that alcohol can disrupt the balance of the gut bacteria, okay? And so if you can't avoid it, there are other sanitizers without alcohol that's really effective. One is called Safe Hands, and another one is called Hands to Go. Safe Hands and Hands to Go. Daily, get your warm teas in, your lemon water. Get you a good healthy vitamin and mineral. You can do warm salt water gargles with, if you've been out, you come back in, warm salt water goggles, take that shower, get those clothes off. Stay hydrated, and most definitely have regular bowel movements and practice joy and gratitude. We're gonna get through this. If I wanna leave you with one other message, we're gonna make it through this. Put that in your mind that we will make it through this. And I'm going to do my part to make sure that I and my family make it through this. Okay? So we thank you. I need to stop the recording now. And as I said, there's a lot more information that I wasn't able to share. So definitely do me a favor and email me at shirleybanksrn@gmail.com, and I will be able to get the information to you as soon as I get the PDF corrected. Thanks so much. God bless.